off down here. So, we're going to be playing the event. We're going to be playing the event today. Look at that. People? Amazing. It is people. Look at them. They stand around. Oh. I am blind. There are decorations everywhere. Amazing. It's the same ones as last year. The exact same ones. Oh, well. Obviously, they probably don't have... whatever. Let us enjoy the story.
Coaching and Charlotte. I never thought she'd see you two together.
Nice to see you again, Traveler and Paimon.
Oh, we're not interrupting anything, are we?
Not at all. I wasn't in the middle of an interview or anything. I was just asking Miss Kuching about purchasing a kite.
Sure.
Right. Are you buying some regional specialties to bring back to Fontaine?
Saying a kite's a regional specialty?
And...
It seems you haven't heard yet. The theme of this year's Lantern Rite is kites.
Yes, we don't hear many things.
So that's why Paimon has seen so many floating in the sky.
Liyue Harbor is always changing, so it is only fitting that Lantern Rite should change in turn. The Qixing believes it would benefit Liyue to build on our own cultural foundation by embracing the technologies of other nations. After all, it is said that the stones of another mountain may serve to better polish one's own jade.
Uh-huh.
Remember my business meeting with Tianquan Ningguang the last time I was in Liyue Harbor? That's what it was about. But all I really did was use my network to introduce Lady Ningguang to some interesting people. I'm not sure that quite counts as fostering cooperation.
In the end, we decided to combine Liyue's traditional art of kite making with Fontaine's mechanical vertical lifting device.
That's a name.
Lifting device? Sounds pretty impressive.
Sounds like an
But
elevator.
don't kites just use the wind to fly? Why would you need to add something mechanical?
Well, you've actually just answered your own question, Paimon.
Wow, you're smart.
How high and far a kite can fly depends as much on the weather conditions as on the skill of the person holding the string.
But as soon as there's no wind, you can only flail about helplessly like a sweet flower medaka out of water. Experience doesn't matter at that point.
Exactly. Liyue is now a nation ruled by humans after all. It's about time we had the power to make a kite fly, don't you think? Plus, the easier we can make it to enjoy, the more people will want to participate.
Uh-huh.
I also thought it was a novel idea. Plus, it shouldn't cost much to do.
With Miss Charlotte's help, everything has gone smoothly. Our new mechanical kites are already available to purchase from a stall in the harbor. We're having trouble keeping up with demand. We also gave quite a bit of thought to the price. We didn't want it to be too much more expensive than a traditional kite.
Cool! Turns out you two and Ningguang like playing with toys just as much as Paimon!
That's...
Toys? They're not exactly toys.
You see, Miss Kuching? That does seem to be everyone's first reaction.
Although kites are one of our most time-honored cultural relics, outside of their use in certain ceremonies, I suppose they're considered playthings more than anything now. But to me, there's so much more than that.
And we don't need to know.
Think for a second about how remarkable it is that a flimsy paper kite attached to a string has the capacity to touch the sky. It is this light piece of paper that also carries the weight of Liyue's cultural traditions. There's an old poem that goes, "O kite born of paper, flying true in sound, a lone traveler wanders, just waiting to be found." In the past, poets from Liyue used kites to symbolize a feeling of longing, or evoke the peacefulness of idyllic rural scenery. If the people of today can derive enjoyment from this activity, they will not only be more likely to better appreciate the tradition, but also to pass it down to the people of tomorrow.
That's the Kuching we know, always thinking 5 steps ahead of anyone else.
yourself.
As long as you're willing to listen, I'm happy to share. I also know quite a lot about the various folk traditions related to kites. For example, whenever a kite blew away, people would say it was the Adepti that summoned the wind to take it away as an offering. That way, you can turn an unfortunate event into an auspicious one.
What about
Me lying?
more fun? Do you know anything like that?
More fun. Let me think. Oh, I suppose we should first talk about how kites are made. It's another one of our precious forms of traditional craftsmanship. My grandfather told me that, back when he was a boy, children learned the art of kite making step by step from their elders. First, you use the thin strips of bamboo to construct the frame. Then, you draw a design of your choice on a piece of paper, paste it onto the frame, and tie on the string. Then, you look towards the sky and release the kite to soar among the clouds. Some people write down certain names or desires on their kites, cut the string, and let them fly free. Others may place particular thoughts or meaning into the design itself.
Are certain designs associated with certain meanings? I'm gonna jot all of this down.
Well, for example, kites in the shape of a butterfly typically symbolize freedom, happiness, or the desire to break free.
Fascinating. What else can you tell me?
The scissored-tailed swallow is the most classic design. It symbolizes good fortune and joyful tidings. Different colors also have small variations in meaning.
Are these commonly understood meanings and symbols in Liyue? Kind of like the language of flowers in Fontaine.
I believe so. Most have probably heard something about it from their elders at some point. If you're interested, Miss Charlotte, I have several books on the topic that I could lend you. They could be a useful
Why are
reference.
people eavesdropping on this cultural conversation?
That would be a huge help! Great! Looks like I've got the outline for quite the article on my hands.
Perfect! We're gonna take a look around.
Then I'll show Miss Charlotte to my home for a little while. I almost forgot. The Ministry of Civil Affairs is hosting a kite flying contest on the night of Lantern Rite. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to bring a kite and participate. The rules are simple. Whoever flies their kite the highest and furthest within the time limit will receive a special honor along with a secret prize.
I've already prepared more than enough empty film for the event. I can see the spectacle already.
Maybe tone it down a bit, Traveler. What if we don't win? It's better to keep a low profile until the competition starts. Then we'll give them a show they never saw coming. Oh, that secret prize is ours.
Then I'll look forward to seeing your performance.
You bet! See you then! Wait, Traveler? Take a peek to your right. Do you see those two people lurking over there?
You're staring right at them. How subtle.
Or were they staring at us the whole time we were talking to Kuching and Charlotte just now? Huh. Well, yes, but something's up. Paimon just has a bad feeling. Do you think they could be treasure hoarders? They always seem to be stirring up trouble during Lantern Rite. Oh, Paimon's sick of waiting around for something bad to happen. We should strike first, you know. Foil their plans before they even begin. You go right, Paimon will go left.
Can't decide to assault people? To batter them? Cool. Well, you know, no, I can't do that yet. I must continue.
Oh. It is with such an air of urgency that you appear before us. Your comportment suggests you believe us to have committed some heinous crime. Perhaps you could enlighten us as to your intentions.
You're not hiding
Whoa,
in
where did this fuddy-duddy come from? You should be the one doing the enlightening, buddy.
What's wrong with you?
Good thing we didn't notice you eavesdropping. One look and we can tell you were up to no good. Tell us everything, starting with your name.
One bears no secrets before two such as yourselves. You stand in the presence of the mighty and illuminated Adeptus, Moon Carver. For the purpose of this foray into the mortal realm, however, you may address one as Hojong.
You kidding? That deer's got his head stuck so far up in the clouds, there's no way he'd humble himself down here with the rest of us.
You may want to hold your tongue.
Ha! Don't think that Paimon is gonna believe you just because you know her name. Let Paimon guess. You're supposed to be Mountain Shaper, right?
Indeed. Mooncarver and myself have descended upon the mortal realm for a visit. The two of you may call me Geo.
Huh. Looks like you did your research. But in our experience, the harder you try to lead us on, the more likely it is that we've got a big fish on our hands. We'll go straight to the Millilith and have you arrested for impersonating a deaf guy.
Preposterous! Utterly preposterous!
Right. Tell us something that only an Adeptus would know. And it better not be some common knowledge that any person on the street can tell you.
During the last Lantern Rite, we gathered at Mount Hulao with Rex Lapis and made use of Cloud Retainer's supreme cuisine machine to prepare bamboo shoot soup. Perhaps you have some recollection. The flavor of that soup was more than enough to whet one's appetite. As such, Cloud Retainer assented to my use of the device beyond that singular occasion, providing other recipes to boot. Since then, one has dabbled in the pleasures of the culinary arts whenever time allows.
Dabbled? Upon one's last sojourn to your mountain, did you not immediately attempt to hide the device behind a chunk of amber as soon as one's presence was known?
Did one not speak up on your behalf but a moment ago? This is how you choose to repay that kindness?
One is simply trying to emphasize the veracity of our claim.
That does not mean you should reveal personal matters so readily. They might think one bears no difference from Cloud Retainer. Forget it. One does not have the breath to waste on such petty trifles.
That might have been more detail than we needed. Seems like you two are the real deal, and Paimon's sorry for suspecting you. But, for beings as forgiving as yourselves, this is just water under the bridge, right?
You indeed have an agile mind. Cloud Retainer was not mistaken in her high estimation of you.
Paimon's still curious about something. It's just, Paimon can understand why Mountain Shaper is here, but why did you decide to come to the city, Mooncarver? It's not really your thing, is it?
It's a very mean thing to say.
Inevitable eventuality. Long have the mountains remained strangely idle since Cloud Retainer's move to Liyue Harbor. With Lantern Rite near at hand, one would expect Cloud Retainer to provide us with an account of the festivities in advance. Yet to this day, she has failed to appear.
Cloud Retainer is hardly the forgetful sort.
One must never rest idle in the face of that which demands action. And since our acquaintances dwell in Liyue Harbor, we had to travel here in human form to avail ourselves of their aid. Cloud Retainers in this case.
But a moment ago, one heard you speak of a mechanical kite of sorts. It appears the essence of the situation has hitherto revealed itself. Now, it is time for one to retire back to one's abode.
Huh. So, you're not looking for Cloud Retainer anymore?
Perhaps there are aspects of Cloud Retainer's temperament that remain opaque to young Paimon. Given one's understanding, one can only imagine the anger that now consumes her.
Cloud Retainer is of a proud and arrogant disposition. She holds the belief that her skill in mechanics surpasses that of all others. One can be quite certain it is hardly with an open mind that she regards the arrival of this new technology.
One surmises that she has shut herself away, refused and buried herself in the study of her own creations. To call on her would only invite her rebuke. However, if you do happen to cross paths with her over the next few days, do pass along one's regards.
Sure, leave it to us. Have a safe trip back, enjoy the scenery, and happy Lantern Rite!
Thank you for your kind words. We shall now depart.
No, stay with us.
We got all worked up for nothing, huh? people we knew all along. Well, it's still pretty early. Let's head over and check out the kite stall.
Yes, minigames.
Using the competition. The bigger and prettier, the better.
It is minigame time. We have met the cool people. We now play the cool games.
Welcome. Are the two of you looking to buy a kite? Would you like me to go over the different
Give.
designs?
Ooh, a scissor kill swallow and a butterfly and
This jade chamber design is our newest. It's been selling like crazy over the past 2 days.
does it also have a unique meaning?
Of course. The jade chamber symbolizes wealth and abundance. The kite bearing its design is said to bring riches in the future to those who fly it.
Good. Give
Oh, now that's Paimon's kind of kite.
money.
Apologize for the interruption, but are all your wares in order, Miss Genua?
Yes, they're just over there. The paper, bamboo, and dyes. All the necessary kite making materials.
Wonderful. I'll pack them up and get a guard to deliver the goods to Yilong Wharf for you.
Yilong Wharf? Oh, wonder what that place is like during Lantern Rite. Paimon would love to go take a look.
You've never been there.
If the two
Normally.
are interested in going to Yilong Wharf, then could I trouble you to find Gaming and deliver these goods together?
Is
Mr.
Gaming
Gaming?
the guard you just mentioned?
Yes. The communications office handles shipments and transports around Liyue. He works for the Secure Transport Agency, one of our sub-organizations. The problem is, many of my colleagues have taken leave during Lantern Rite to spend time with their families. So, our available workforce has seen a dramatic decrease recently. If you were willing to help out, then I could get a head start on my next appointment.
Will you pay me?
Pressed for time.
Of course. Hard work deserves ample rewards. Now, at this time of day, Gaming should be somewhere in the vicinity. Just follow the main road until you see the head of a Wushu dance costume. Should be on your right.
Be sure to come back if you'd like to buy a kite. I'll even give you a discount.
Dang, there were no minigames. But there were kites. Looks very similar to last year still.
Wait, I thought we had an agreement. Loser buys dim sum tomorrow? Look at you. Scowl like that for much longer and your face might stay that way.
It was this kid.
Now, don't be upset. How
No
about
wonder he's gaming.
you extend the invitation and I'll pay.
No way, Gaming. You're always the one picking up the tab. I'm not trying to be a sore loser. I just didn't expect you to come from behind to win like that.
That was nothing. All in a day's work, friend.
Doesn't that mean you lose normally?
Gaming is here. Sorry to interrupt, Gaming. We just spoke to a guy from the communications office who needs you to deliver some goods to Yilong Wharf.
Oh, it must have been Longzhou. Looks like I've got work. Gotta go.
Sure, go do your thing. Let's have a rematch when you get back. I won't let you win so easily next time.
Alrighty, you can hand the goods over to me. Must have been heavy hauling them all this way. Let me take them off your hands.
It wasn't that bad. It's just some kite-making material.
Kite-making materials. I see. I'm glad it wasn't too much trouble, Paimon. Still, I owe you one. Ah, and you must be the traveler. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for your help.
Huh? You know us?
There probably aren't many in Liyue who don't. I've heard quite a bit about you two. You're quite well known around these parts. Oh, and please excuse Longzhou if he forgot to thank you. Take my thanks in his place. He's a good guy. He's just been super busy lately, running around from place to place. Don't be so. You here for Lantern Rite?
Yep. It's always so lively this time of year. We were actually hoping we could tag along to Yilong Wharf and have a look around.
Perfect. We'll go together then. I'm good with directions, so just follow me. Trust me, I know my way around. We can exchange stories, tell jokes, or just chat along the way. Oh, and there are a couple of good places to eat along our route. We can stop and grab a bite when it's time. The ingredients are fresh, the portions are generous, and the prices won't break the bank. You can order anything, and I promise you won't be disappointed.
Order anything? Hey, did you really have to call Paimon out like that in front of our new friend?
Don't worry, I understand. I joke around like that with my friends, too. It just shows how close you are. Do you need to pack anything up before we hit the road? I can wait.
Nope, our things are always packed and ready. We're pretty much travel experts at this point.
Oh, that's right. Then let's get going. If we run into any trouble, you can count on me to protect you. I am a guard, after all.
They're really not doing much to stop me from calling him gaming. He's got the gamer hoodie. He's acting like a gamer. He's eating like a gamer. This gaming kid is no good. This is much better than Ayaka, because that's only running, and then I can't stop. Uh-huh. What up? Yes, heard of, because they weren't in the game earlier. Yes. What do you mean? Pearl water is scattered in the wilds. Uh-huh. I can become fish? That sounds difficult. Where am I? Ah, I'm underneath the world. Fish.
Oh, you're back. Jeez, guys, where'd you go? One moment you were there, disappeared. You scared the life out of me.
I don't know where I am.
So sorry. We were just, it's kinda hard to explain.
Fair enough.
Heal us.
Well, the mountain road is pretty hazardous, and it's easy to get lost in the fog.
Got it. Let's keep going.
Hey, nice views at least. That's cool.
The docks
Looks
are
entirely different from Liyue.
one step at a time. Hang in there.
They changed the grays. Now they're much brighter. No, I don't want to play as him.
Get behind me. I'll handle this.
You really won't.
Show them. Right here. Dear me.
Watch out!
Did not listen on how to play this guy.
Right now. Right here. Right now.
This a bit loud? No, I don't think so. It's loud for me, but
Hiya! Coming at ya!
get shot in the face.
Mighty mythical beast!
I don't understand. What? Yeah, just use your towel. Don't kick us. Yeah, I don't usually fight that way.
Seems like we really can't go anywhere without running into treasure hoarders, can we?
Yeah,
Can we?
it's not uncommon for deliveries to get intercepted. That's why this job needs guards like us.
I was impressed by your moves back there. You seem like a real pro at your job.
Oh, that's not a skill I learned on the job. It's just a hobby. Have you ever heard of wushu dancing?
No.
Wushu dancing is famous in Chunyu Vale.
Well, I've never been here.
Invited to promote the opening of a business or to spread good fortune during a holiday season. But I must admit, it has nothing on the popularity of the Liyue Opera. I'm also well aware that people in Liyue Harbor aren't exactly jumping at the chance to watch wushu dancing. So, it's not something I do full-time.
Huh? You have 2 jobs?
It's not that tiring. You just have to take a rest.
Ah, Paimon gets it, see?
Not really. Just yesterday, I stayed up all night playing cards.
Oh,
Let's go. The docks are just up ahead.
Sorry, what is that? That's not a special collectible, is it? No. Because I see it on the map. Nope, 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 don't fall. There we go. That is mine. My gosh, it is. Where is the level 50 tree I have to throw this into?
finally we can rest. Ooh, Paimon's shoulders are so stiff. And her stomach's so empty.
Sorry. Did I push the pace a bit too much? I mean, you were the ones who said you were travel experts.
Liyue is just too hilly. Floating up and down so much. Where's Paimon now? Oh, Paimon.
Aw. Would you like some winter melon cake?
It's
I have
not
some on
winter.
me that I bought from a store.
Yes, Paimon will take.
You might want to pace yourself there, or you'll be too full to eat a proper meal later.
Paimon never gets too full. Just like you apparently never get tired, no matter how far you walk or how many jobs you work.
Ah, I see. Then here you go, Paimon. And for you, traveler. Enjoy. And here's some
How
for
funny.
you too, Uncle Bosu. Don't think I forgot about you, my friend. I'll just...
That hit the spot. Paimon thought she was going to starve to death for a minute there.
That close of a call, huh? Ah, I've been eating winter melon cake ever since
I don't need to know about your
I've been
childhood.
from all sorts of places, whether it's a small vendor on the side of the road or a big restaurant in the city. But each place, if you like,
That may say I can
it's
skip,
the
but it's
address of
hard.
the shop I bought 'em from. I'll just have to check when we get back. oh, all my jabbering must be difficult for you to enjoy the scenery in peace, huh? Don't be afraid to tell me to zip it for a little while, okay? Really?
It's okay. Paimon is kind of enjoying.
Aw, a fed Paimon is a happy Paimon, huh?
Hey, Paimon can be in a good mood anytime she wants. Woohoo! We're here!
Don't forget your things, and watch your step as you get off the raft, or you're in for a swim. Thanks for the ride.
Looks
Uncle Bosu.
pretty cool.
Take care of yourself now. Okay, follow me. This way is fastest. We'll have to take the elevator up to the secure transport agency.
Alright, how far away is that? Pretty far away. Okay, that's good. I mean, this area is actually quite large, which is great. I'm sorry, what? What am I picking up? Was that tea or something? Found a singular Primogen. The elevator is not down yet, is it? Where is it? Come back, elevator. I need you. Kinda dark in here. Amazing. Hello. How mean. So where's Fontaine? It's beyond those mountains still.
Slow down. I'm begging ya.
What is it? No one's gonna try any funny business when the street is this packed, right?
I don't know. We may be about to get robbed.
Oh, well... How should I put it? Do you see that group of people over there? Those are my relatives.
Wow, you sure have a big family.
Once they start buying things, they won't stop perusing till it gets dark.
They're your family, not your arch enemies.
No, it's not that. I'm just not that good at dealing with my family. It would be best if we could steer clear of them. I'll explain more when we have the chance, but...
Mm-hmm. Don't. No, I don't want to play a stealth section.
Let's go straight. Slow and steady wins the race.
Stick close, traveler.
Uh-oh, we've been spotted.
No, we haven't.
Coming! When did you get here? Oh, you've lost even more weight. How long are you planning on staying this time?
How's work been? It sounds tough. You should visit home more often.
The last time I spoke with your dad, he couldn't stop talking about you. He seems worried. Causing trouble again, are you?
It's not my fault. He's the one who didn't dodge.
That was terrifying. Even Paimon couldn't get a word in.
Sorry. They mean well, it's just... I don't want to talk about it. Let's get these things delivered first.
It's okay. Whenever you're ready to talk about it, we'll be ready to listen.
Hey, Uncle Jurgway. These are my friends, the Traveler and Paimon. They came to deliver some goods with me.
Who decided JRI should be ZHI?
So I guess I'll go ahead and take these over to Uncle Yongzan then.
Yes. Thanks for your hard work. I should thank you both for your trouble as well. Please take a seat and rest for a bit. I'll prepare some tea.
No need. We'll be off soon anyway.
Hey, we're already here, aren't we? No harm in taking a load off for a bit. Plus, I know the Secure Transport Agency has some great Songhua tea stashed around here somewhere. I promise you, one sip and you'll be hooked. Anyway, you just sit down and relax, Uncle Jurgway. Who would I be if I just sat here and let you go through all this trouble? Leave this to me. I have to be up and about to drop these goods off anyway. What's a little extra time on my feet? Oh, you aren't too picky, right, Traveler? I know Paimon prefers things on the sweeter side, so I won't steep the tea too long. And I'll...
Uh-huh. I don't care about food. Please.
How long have you two known Gami?
5 hours.
We just kind of tagged along on his trip to Yulong Wharf. He's just as super welcoming guy. We became friends.
That's just how he is. 10 of sort. Really knows how to look after his own. A while ago, one of our guards had to take off work. Said his joints were hurting due to the rain. Gaming personally went all the way to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get some medicine for him from Dr. Baiju, then traveled through the night to deliver it back to him. That young man has such a good head on his shoulders. How can anyone not love him? I mean, there is his dad, but ask anyone else.
Uncle Yongsan says he doesn't have the personnel to spare for this delivery right now. So what do you think, Uncle Jirgui? Should I go ahead and deliver it instead?
Feels like we've troubled you enough already.
It's kite-making materials, though. It could be for a kid. I'm sure the sender wants it delivered before Lantern Rite. Oh, by the way, here, have some tea.
All right, then. Deliver it if you want to.
Ooh, are you free in 2 days? How about we grab some dim sum from Shinya Kiosk? My treat and...
Whoa,
Please stop eating.
Don't mention it. Just think of this as a thank you for all your help. Besides, the thing between me and my family... It...
sounds good. Paimon never says no to free food.
Alright, then I'm off. See you in 2 days. Oh, and Paimon, make sure not to eat too...
You're gonna get poisoned one day.
Underestimating Paimon? She's just gonna have to show him how much she can really eat. Anyway, is Gaming's family situation really that complicated? He has such a happy-go-lucky personality. Plus, he's an enthusiastic and diligent...
How should I put it? Since he already plans to tell you himself, you don't need an old man like me to add my 2 cents. You seem to be around the same age, so perhaps you could help him talk things through. Consider it a favor to me.
If you have the time, maybe you can make a little flag for us to wave about.
Have years passed because there's been 3 or 4 Lantern Rites?
Say, we provide aid in spades.
Well, I can certainly arrange that. Is there anything else you want to say?
Wait, seriously?
Would you like some more tea?
No thanks. We should see the kinds of kites they got.
All right, then. Please do let me know if you'd like more.
Because every Lantern Rite is canonically happening before the next one. But that means whole years have gone by. And yet, no aging. Who walks around buildings? You go through them.
What are you doing here?
The way you speak, one might have presumed you were displeased to be in one's presence.
Have we seen? How in the world could I not know who she is?
Take note, Paimon. You could learn a thing or two about how to respect your elders.
Ugh, starting on the elder stuff already, huh? Shouldn't you be back in your cave tinkering away at some kite-related thingamabob or something? And what's with that huge box next to you?
And what of it? The Qixing's decision to integrate Fontanian technology into said kite-flying competition is of no consequence to oneself. Did you expect one to willfully compete against the whimsical trends of worldly sentiment? Or perhaps even fall to petty sulking over such?
It's not that we think those things exactly. That's just what Mountain Shaper and Mooncarver told us. Or Tia something and Paimon can't be bothered to remember what their aliases were called. Anyway, they went to Liyue Harbor to look for you. They even asked us to pass along their regards if we ran into you. Tianyin?
It appears time has quite flown since one's arrival in Liyue Harbor. How could one have forgotten about those 2 old fossils? One shall have to bring them back some divine herbs to atone for this slight. Nay, given that one has ventured all this way to Yilong Wharf, tea would be more advisable.
Hilarious.
A great thought has illuminated one's mind once again. One is reminded that certain purchases have yet to be made. Perhaps you two could wait here whilst one performs this task. It'll be but a moment.
Huh? Wait, here? You really just gonna ditch us here to watch your stuff? Oh, that woman really just does whatever she wants.
I'll leave the stuff watching to you.
Oh, all this Paimon ditching is super not appreciated. Just come back soon, okay?
Welcome.
please have a look around. We only sell teas of the finest quality, sourced directly from Chaoying Village. Might I recommend the Songlo variety?
Now, that sounds promising. 2 boxes will do.
Wonderful. By the way, we're actually running a special Lantern Rite promotion. Buy 3 boxes, get 10% off. 4 boxes will net you 20% off.
We're not buying 3 though. What kind?
20% off 4 boxes.
No, don't fall for it. No.
Then 4 shall suffice.
No.
I see. Are you intending to give these as gifts? If so, perhaps I can interest you in these exquisite gifts. Buy 10, get half off. Look at the magnificent design and the red ribbon. The festive flair, don't you think? Such a gift would be sure to impress.
10 boxes. Seems rather excessive. But if one factors in the conqueror of demons and one's disciples...
10! Nice round number, don't you think? Of course you do. I'll even shave a little extra off the price for you.
That is agreeable. One will... I will have these boxed up then.
Of course, right away.
I see you have quite the eye for fine items, mademoiselle. Perhaps some of my wares might also be of interest to you. I'm a toy merchant from Fontaine. You'll get nothing but the finest and most intricate clockwork toys Mora can buy here.
Traveler, step in.
A source of endless amusement.
Perhaps you could enlighten me then. When should said amusement I?
Well, that is, of course, best understood by playing with them yourself. If you could wait just a moment, I can bring one out and give you a demonstration.
There is no need.
Mademoiselle.
Give me your newest and finest model, and be sure to package it securely.
Of course. Here you go. The instruction manual is...
I can do without. Many watchful eyes surround this place. There is no harm in...
You went to watch her and didn't even stop her from getting scammed.
Naturally. One may not delight in social interactions, but that does not mean one lacks said faculties. And you two? Are you not here to purchase things?
We just haven't had time yet. It doesn't look like there are any kite stalls around Elon Wharf. But it does look like there are lots of goods from fun...
You are also planning to participate in the kite flying competition, then? One means to say, you along with all the other youths. One has been entreated to share one's kite-making expertise. And indeed, there was little one could do about such persistent supplication. One moment energetic and earnest, and dejected the next. One had no choice but to acquiesce to these requests, and thus, one will be organizing a kite-making workshop to provide personal instruction in this art form.
Oh, who will be...
Shuyu, Shenhe, Ganyu, and Yayo.
Wow, that's quite a few. Also, this is all pretty well, Xinyun, but it's not like you have to make your own kite to participate in the competition.
Ha! You speak of those equipped with the mechanical lifting device, do you not? Tis nothing but a crude piece of mortal machinery. The mechanism that one has developed was the fruit of millennia of meticulous study. Let us not speak of the source of the mechanism's power, but rather its structure. It is composed of materials as light as bamboo and as strong as iron. This composition grants it the lightness of weight to ascend into the sky and the durability to follow the wind for many a mile. It is built with a series of intersecting rods that... Never mind. It is unlikely the two of you will understand, even should one expend the effort to explain.
It sure seems like you want to talk about it, though.
So, will you be attending the workshop or not?
Huh?
You better.
Wait, you've been trying to invite us this entire time?
All right then. No need to prepare the materials in any case. Arrive at Mount Outsong in 2 days. I shall be expecting you around midday.
Are you leaving? Don't you want a guide to help you with that big box of yours?
Surely you jest. One goes as one pleases. For what reason would one need to rely on another?
It can float? What kind of invention?
One calls it the floating toting device.
Look at her walk down the street. She seems so confident, but everyone around her is looking at her all funny. Paimon wonders... never mind. But anyway, that box of hers seems to be full of those mechanical lifty thingamabobs. Not that Paimon was peeking or anything. Didn't you know it? All the stuff inside almost came bursting out. Paimon even went out of her way to keep it all together. All Paimon say is that Shenyun sure does try hard to save face. What did she call it again? A crude piece of mortal machinery? Totally. We should probably act like we didn't see anything, though. After all, that is the propriety with which one should comport oneself.
Ah, finally. Unfortunate. It's very misty over there.
I've never had dim sum at Shinue Kiosk before.
Cool. Wait, where is him? All the way over there. Oh, no wonder I can't see it.
Go!
Enter the expensive restaurant.
Oh, you're here early. I just ordered. The food should be out in a second. Sit down, sit down.
Let's all take a seat.
Here, hand me your cups.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, you weren't supposed to drink that, Paimon. That was for you to rinse your utensils.
Wow.
Most of the time, though.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Eat. What about you, traveler? Is the food to your liking?
Paimon's gonna take... Oh, listen. Paimon's figured it out. Let's think about this for a second, Gaming. You invited us to this awesome... That would explain why you try to keep your friend... Huh?
Well, when you're on the road as much as I am, you hear all sorts of rumors. So more often than not, that means knocking on some doors.
Oh, you truly...
Okay, enough with the teasing.
What? Oh.
My dad is just an ordinary tea merchant. Small scale stuff, you know? It wouldn't even make sense to mention his business and my dad... But that's just not who I am.
Have you ever talked to him about your...
Of course I have. I told him I wanted to be a wushu dancer. That I wanted all of Tevat to see what I could. According to my dad, though, that wasn't a real job. Just a child's pipe dream.
Oh, that's
I'm sure he thought I would come around eventually, but wushu dancing has always been the only thing I wanted to do. One day, he tried to get me to visit some other tea merchants to start building the right relationships, but I refused to go. We got into a huge fight. In the end, I was so angry that I ran away from home. I haven't been back since. Don't get on my case just yet, okay? No. I know that it wasn't the right way to go about things. But my dad's stubborn. No matter how hard I tried to convince him, it just went in one ear and out the other. There was no changing his mind. I knew talking would only get me so far, but if I made it big in Liyue Harbor, the results could speak for themselves. But I'm sure you both already know how that's going. In the past, I would go door to door from store to store, asking if they would be interested in hiring a performer. And you can't just rely on dreams to put food on the table, right? So I found a job as a guard to make some money. Still, change takes time.
understands.
Okay, enough of all that serious talk. Our tea's getting cold.
Actually, we told Xianyun that we would go to her kite-making workshop.
Oh?
Are you interested in...
Oh, no. It's just that I happen to know Auntie Xianyun. Oh, I know that she's an Adeptus. I met her during a delivery once. But hasn't she been in the city lately? She's even tried, with some limited success, to change her terms of self-address or something. She came to see me a few days ago to ask about luminescent dyes. Oh, wait a second. She doesn't plan on putting those on a kite, does she?
Is that not something you can do?
It's one thing to use it on cloth, but applying it to paper is another matter entirely. Why couldn't she tell me what she wanted them for?
Yeah, she does seem to have trouble with that sometimes.
It would be such a shame if everyone worked so hard on their kites only for them to get ruined in the end.
Great! The more the...
Alright, most of that was about food. No, hang on. Most of that was about food and boring. So, we are off to the other... I'm not going to walk there. That's very far away. Now we're not just on a mountain in the middle of nowhere. We're on a mountain next to some very colorful mountains. Does not look as tall anymore. Ooh.
Ganyu! Ganyu! Come on, wake up! Some friends have arrived!
Hello, friends.
Ganyu!
Well, I have some mint oil. Perhaps we should try that. A guest at Wanmin restaurant recommended it to me. I've tried it. Its stimulative effects are much stronger than what can be achieved from chewing on mint leaves alone. Apologies in advance.
Wait! Shenhe?
Oh.
See? It worked. She's awake.
Are you okay, Ganyu?
I'm fine. I just feel chilly all over.
Huh. Was it that effective?
Chilly, huh? Pilot doesn't think that...
I feel a bit better now. Was I asleep? Must have been around the time I usually take my midday nap.
Did you not sleep last night? That does seem to happen to you often. Perhaps you should come work at Wanmin restaurant with me. We get off at 10 on the dot every night without fail.
I could never. I'm sorry. I seem to have missed your name. You are...
Me? My name is Gaming. I work as a guard for the Secure Transport Agency.
Gaming. The name sounds familiar. People tell me you're an extremely enthusiastic worker, and you are very generous with your help.
Well, you know me. Or, I guess you don't.
My name is Ganyu. This is Shenhe, and this is Yao Yao.
It's an honor to finally meet you. Oh, you must be here for Auntie Xianyun's kite-making workshop, right?
Yes. I have neither made nor flown a kite before. As long as Master is willing to teach, I am willing to learn.
Me too! I want to participate in the kite flying competition with my best friend! Plus, it's more meaningful if you make the kite yourself, right? Your best friend didn't come with you? Well, Chi-Chi's been super busy helping Dr. Baiju lately. I'll meet up with her later and give her a huge surprise. Oh, I also brought bandages and ointment with me today. It's easy to cut yourself when working with bamboo, so I thought I should come prepared.
Is it?
You're really thoughtful.
As for myself, I'm afraid I lack some of my companion's enthusiasm. I was originally planning to buy a ready-made kite and just enjoy the festive city atmosphere with everyone. But Cloud Retainer is always going out of her way to look after her juniors, wanting us to have the best there is. She always puts us before herself. It was so thoughtful of her to arrange this workshop.
so I simply couldn't let such consideration go to waste. My motivation for being here might be a little different, yes. But I'm ready to put in just as much effort as everyone else.
Well, we're all here. But where the heck is Shen Yun? Shouldn't she be here by now?
Who is it that speaks of oneself in such an ill-tempered tone?
Oh, come on!
Wow, mean.
Master stopped to buy grilled tigerfish to share with everyone. Come get it while it's still warm.
Oh,
Who are you?
Miss Illuminated Bird? Paimon always knew you were the smartest, coolest, and prettiest Adeptus. Someone as wonderful as you is sure to have brought enough for Paimon as... So delicious. Paimon's life is complete.
It appears that we've ended up with quite a few participants indeed. The materials are over here. The regular dyes and luminescent ones have been clearly marked. As for how to make the kite, one assumes you all made sure to listen to the instructions one provided while we were eating. Yes? Are there any questions?
Paimon may have focused a little too hard on... Paimon knew she could count on you, Traveler.
One will wait under this tree and avail oneself of the cool air while one digests. Do not hesitate to seek one's company if you have any trouble.
We're not in any hurry to get started.
No, we are. Start. Dang it.
Hey, come in. Want to team up?
Huh? I have to participate? I thought I'd be done for the day after adjusting the dye formula.
You're that unenthused by kite?
No, it's not that. It would take too long to explain. I guess I'll just make one then. What do you think, Shuyu? Is there a particular design?
I want a Swanee.
A what?
It might be a little hard to pull off.
True, but I still want to try.
Okay.
Auntie Cloud Retainer, look! Am I doing it right?
Very good. Your frame is nice and sturdy. This design, is it a finch?
Yep.
One is looking forward to seeing your finished product.
What color are you going to make it, Yao Yao? I haven't decided yet. If I make it blue, it'll be more like my friends. But if I make it gold, it'll be more like me.
If you are asking for one's own opinion, one would advise choosing gold.
Well, now you can't choose blue.
The key consideration is the recipient's feelings, is it not? One imagines your friend would much prefer a kite that reminds them of you.
Oh, hey, I never told you the kite was for cheap.
With age comes wisdom, child. One simply has a way of knowing things.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna start painting it gold right now.
Good. One will watch. You two seem strangely unoccupied. One was under the impression that one was supposed to be doing the relaxing.
Oh, we actually haven't started yet, but we're going to start, right now. First, we have to decide on the shape. Hey, what are you laughing at?
It should be Paimon.
Oh, that's not a completely crazy idea. If nothing else, a Paimon-shaped kite could at least make sure you never get lost on your travel. Maybe we're not exercising enough artistic license. Now, what expression should we give her? Since the kite is going to be flying super high in the sky. Ooh, like this? Now that we've decided... It's done! Paimon has to say. Kai Paimon might even rival real Paimon in terms of cuteness. Now we just have to attach the string, right?
All right, gather around, everyone.
Oh, Shen Yun's calling us!
I'm freezing.
Let one take a look.
Shenhe made a scissor-tailed swallow. It's so pretty. Yep. The coloring makes it look a lot like Master. If the tail wasn't split in two like that, it might even be a spitting image. If you look closely, there are a few spots where the colors go outside the lines.
I stared at the paper for quite some time, but I simply could not recall the coloring of any bird. Except, or should I say that I'm too familiar with her crane form? Even...
Oh, now that you mention it...
Exactly.
No way. You can paint with your eyes closed?
You are most filial, Shenhe. One is flattered by the lightning.
The Swanee that Gaming and Shuyu made looks very majestic. I'm sure it'll look even more impressive as it soars through the sky.
The eyes and ears glow in the dark, so you're sure to see it at night. Here, Golden Finch. It's all thanks to Auntie.
People don't fly kites at night.
What about your kite, traveler?
Its self-important countenance bears a striking resemblance to that namesake.
It makes her look like she's already won the competition. Wow! That's gonna...
Is that the Jade Chamber?
Oh? Who dares attempt such a flagrant display of impropriety by releasing a kite into one's territory without one's permission? Oh, and to do so by making use of this. One simply must know who it is that possesses such impertinence. Continue attaching the strings, everyone. One will be but a moment.
Cloud Retainer! Traveler, Paimon, could I trouble you to go after Cloud Retainer?
Master's going to be okay, right?
She's going to encase them in amber.
Who released the kite?
There's wind up ahead. Looks like we can glide over.
Ah, how fortunate.
It's right there.
This mechanical motion is quite curious indeed.
Now is hardly an opportune time for your musings. Someone among us was not sufficiently attentive, and now the kite has vanished.
Calm yourself. Do you have any recollection of its last location?
One believes it drifted in the direction of Mount Outsong. Perhaps it is mere happenstance, but one feels a certain sense of dread.
Your concern is misplaced, surely. Cloud Retainer is either in the city looking after her disciples, or secluded in her abode attending to her research. She will not notice that kite. On the subject of said kite, however, one simply must remark on the genius of its windless lift technology. One cannot help but surmise that its ingenuity rivals that of Cloud Retainer's creation.
Still thy tongue. If Cloud Retainer were to hear you profess such a thing, we can both say farewell to any further use of the Supreme Cuisine Machine.
One presumes that this kite belongs to you.
Huh?
Regard the situation with which we are now confronted. This is all your fault.
One's fault? One seems to recall that releasing the kite was no solitary endeavor. Say something, Mountain Shaper. Surely you can think of something to appease her.
Further explanation shall only fan the flames of her wrath. It would be better to state and retire at the earliest opportunity.
We can hardly avoid her forever. That may suffice during Lantern Rite. But what about the Moon Chase Festival? Sooner or later, she will discover our true identity.
Hello?
Go retrieve the kite.
Absolutely not.
That is not our kite.
Oh, so an adeptus such as oneself is mistaken then?
Ah, you're an adeptus? Please forgive us for any impropriety. I truly possess no inkling of who could have released a kite into your esteemed domain. Who could be responsible for such wanton behavior?
Verily, verily, we were but delighting in the surrounding scenery. This locale is home to such exquisite... Well, and if that's all, then we'll just be on our way.
We finally caught up. You sure do fly fast in your illuminated moon carver? Mountain sheeper?
You?
Okay, now Paimon's...
It is of no consequence. Long has one seen through their disguises. One was simply curious as to how long they would keep up the act.
Then you are not angry?
How could one feel anger at the sight of two old friends enjoying themselves? One is also well aware how enticing these city novelties can be.
We were simply consumed by a fit of festive spirit. Seldom do we get the opportunity to partake in the delights of the times. However, we are far from being as adept as you in matters that require a deftness of hand. No worthy kite could be born of our own making. Thus, we could only take the convenient route, so to speak.
Your prowess in mechanics is unparalleled, Cloud Retainer. You wield the wind and waves themselves. Your singular talent stands unmatched across the land. Of this, we are well aware.
One has guests to attend to. We will have to convene again some other time. Traveler, Paimon, do try to keep up.
We're leaving already?
Do we get more wind? No. What do you two have to say for yourselves?
Seems that one's concern was misplaced after all.
Then, should we continue flying the kite?
A splendid suggestion, but it would be advisable to change locations.
Perhaps your mountain would suffice?
A fine idea.
Wrong here.
They're back.
After you left, Yao Yao and Shu Yu tired themselves out. Gao Ming offered to escort them home.
Before he left, he said something that I don't quite understand.
Oh? What did he say?
He said, a kite is always tied down no matter how far it flies or how high it soars. Its tether prevents it from ever truly flying free. He looked quite dejected as he said this.
Now that you mention it, Gao Ming did seem to have a rather strange attitude towards kites.
A reflection of himself. If I were a kite, I would cherish that tether as a symbol of kinship and the bonds that tie us and...
Shenhe?
It may be an exceedingly slim and distant connection, but lose it, and you lose that which links you to home. If Gaming truly sees a kite as a reflection of himself...
Well, people often have different points of view depending on their mindset and experiences, right? It's actually quite normal.
Just like some people can eat spicy food.
Exactly. That's why tolerance...
No, not exactly. What are you talking about?
Tolerance and understanding? What brought about this conversation?
We were just chatting.
One was merely doing a bit of cooking. Night fast approaches. If you are otherwise unoccupied, one would entreat you to stay.
Oh, it's been so long.
Worry not. One has prepared a variety of... Shenhe?
Whoa, what's with all the secrecy? You're not trying to play favorites, are you? If you're ready to serve the...
We don't have to speak about food, come on. Need to heal yourself. I know what I'm cutting out of the video.
Seems like you're supreme. This golden crab's particularly good. It's a good thing Gaming isn't here, or Paimon would have to do.
He traveled all this way on account of the kite-making workshop, and he spent the whole afternoon looking after Shuyu. Oh.
It's rare for someone to make such a good impression on you.
He appears to be a young man of much merit.
It appears that he wishes to break free from the
kite string. Huh. What strange metaphors you speak in, Shenhe. Ever since you returned...
Where do we even begin?
One has only heard that the two are not on good terms.
He ran away from home and hasn't been back since.
Oh?
Ran away, you say?
Oh, okay.
What?
This shall not. Lantern Rite fast approaches. We must make haste. As one was contacting various tailors around Liyue, one could not help but be reminded of Menogias. He possessed a singular talent for clothing design. He had an exquisite eye, not just for fabric selection and color pairing, but also for what accessories could best accentuate a garment's overall styling. At a gathering of Adepti, Bonanis once complained in secret to some of the ladies in attendance that the skirt Menogias made for her was too long and impractical, lamenting that it would only hinder her in battle. However, when one asked Menogias his opinion, he remarked that the train of the skirt would serve to enhance her adeptal countenance by exemplifying a certain elegance. Menogias was that type of person. When it came to topics relating to garments and accessories, not even Rex Lapis could best his stubbornness. And later... one means to say that Lantern Rite should be a day of reunion. It is a time to address problems before they turn into regrets. Fate is fickle. The cruel reality of this world is that suffering and misfortune can befall any of us without design or reason. If there is a chance for young people to remain insulated from this reality, one should do one's utmost to make it so.
That's nice and all.
Do you have any ideas?
Perhaps adeptal arts could be of use. No. Mechanics, perhaps. One fails to see its use in a situation such as this.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Combining our efforts is a fine idea indeed. Aha! One has an idea. How about this? Does that make sense, Tep?
Yep.
Now then, I counsel rest for all, and to make the necessary preparations.
2 days. Yes, okay. Cool. Does she have gloves over her nails? Those things are like 2 inches. Alright. Guess what time it is? 2 days later. Wow. 8 and 12. Okay. Look at that. Simple. Wrong button. Simple.
Let's go find Gaming. Hope everything goes well. Hi, Gaming. Paimon sees you've certainly gotten an early start this morning. Playing games already, are we?
What a cool head.
You the one buying dim sum again?
Hey, when you put it like that, it makes it sound like I'm always the one losing.
Ah, perfect. You're all here. there's an important commission I need your help with.
What happened to your microphone?
I've got the time. Where are the goods?
It's not just goods this time. I need you to escort a tea merchant and their wares from Qiaolin Village to Liyue Harbor.
Sure. What's this merchant's address?
Here.
If the client's that important, then this must be a very crucial, very
Of course, the sooner you complete it, the better. I would advise you to depart as soon as possible.
All right. Don't work too hard now, Longzhou.
How's that thing floating? Oh, well, that was simple. Just teleport.
Do you want Paimon to tell a story?
We're almost there. I'll take a rain check on that.
What's up, blue man?
You must be the tea merchant heading to Liyue Harbor. We're here to escort you.
Dad?
Oh, so you're Gaming's father. Just leave this delivery to him. Trust Paimon. He's got this in the bag. Everyone at the
Seems like you've made some sort of name for yourself, at least.
The goods are all in order?
Yes, they're all here.
Then let's get going.
You're going to have to walk with him
if you just didn't show up.
for hours.
Plus, you'd be missing out on a huge money.
I see. I suppose I will have to trouble you all to escort me, then. Let's go.
You are going to speak with him as I walk all the way back. Now, if only I had infinite stamina. This is not the direction I'm supposed to be going, is it? Can I dive into the water? No, but I can drown. How exactly do you expect us to walk over there?
We've been walking for so long. Is anyone tired? How about we stop and rest for a bit?
I'm fine.
Gaming, don't you usually have some delicious snacks on you? Come on, bring them out so we can share them.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Why do you keep talking, please?
This place looks nice and open. Why don't you all...
Huh?
I'm not tired. I'll keep watch.
Oh.
Just let him go.
Okay, we'll just share amongst ourselves then. Did you know, Uncle Ip, that the flavor of...
Halt! Who goes there?
It appears that one's movements were overly...
Enough of your musings. Focus. Focus on the matter at hand. Present your exquisite ornaments at once.
Indeed. Bring them forth readily and without protest.
It seems as if these two are up to... It won't be difficult to subdue them, but they might have something else waiting in store for Dad. Leave this to me. Traveler, Paimon.
No, Gaming. It's too dangerous.
This is what I do.
A thorny
Don't they know they're going to get hit by a sword?
And seek a target softer in blows and
Don't think I'm gonna let you off so easily.
Away. Let us away.
Coming!
Don't worry, he's a great fighter. Paimon's even seen him take down a dozen or so treasure...
But, Coming, If he had just stayed by my side and learned the family trade, he wouldn't have to put himself in such dangerous situations.
We just have to trust him. Let's go on ahead. We'd best get away from here, in case there are other bandits in the area waiting in ambush.
All is going to plan.
Okay, we should be good to stop Zhongli. Oh no, what is he doing here?
Good sir, please listen to me. Reel in your line and leave this place as quickly as you can. There are bandits in the area.
Bandits? Acting in broad daylight? Oh. Ah, I see. It appears many people are catching a chill as of late. If there are indeed bandits in the area, then we should inform the Millelith at once. Oh? Well, if that's the case, such matters are best left to those with the necessary expertise. Wouldn't you agree?
I suppose you're right. If ordinary people like us got involved, it would only cause more trouble.
Since we find ourselves otherwise unoccupied in this beautiful area, why don't we find a quiet place to relax while we wait for good news?
Be lovely.
So, Uncle Ip does have a reason to be worried. After all, Gaming, the guard we met...
Gaming. The name sounds somewhat familiar. Ah, yes. That is the name of the Wushu dancer who has been performing around Liyue Harbor recently.
Oh, have you seen him perform?
Indeed. I cannot help but admire his skill. He truly encapsulates the spirit of the Suani. Wushu dancing has become more well known in Liyue Harbor recently. However, although performers are seeing budding success, they have no doubt had to face many hurdles along the way. One's not so easily understood by spectators such as ourselves. If you ask me, what truly deserves admiration is perseverance in the face of adversity. That is a rare attribute indeed. I have heard many of my acquaintances praise Gaming for his kind, selfless, and courageous disposition. To have a child so accomplished and upright.
Seems like Zhongli has decided this formalities.
Well, he's a hard worker. Yes.
You should be sure to tell him you think that when he gets back.
Your son is young yet. It's normal for someone his age to be a bit hot-headed. It's understandable to find talking about such things in person difficult. If there's a particular sentiment you wish to convey, perhaps we could pass it along for you.
No. It wouldn't be right to ask that of you. This thing between us has festered for many years now. In truth, there are some things that simply aren't easy for us to talk through. I've been in the tea business for most of my life, and I always hoped my child would do the same. Over the past few years, I heard how well he was doing for himself as a guard. How his work was taking him to farther and farther off places. I also heard that he never gave up on Wushu dancing. It made me happy. But I was also worried. When you're young, you can handle all that physically taxing work and manual labor. What young person isn't capable of making a living that way? My concern is what happens when you get old. Every time I get to thinking like that, I cannot help but be reinforced in the belief that I was right. That I was right not to give in. I often regret introducing him to Wushu dancing as a kid. If I had known how things would turn out, I would have never taken him to see those performances in the first place.
It is only natural for a parent to strive to send their child down the right path. No one would begrudge you that sentiment, Uncle Ib. You need not worry.
You seem quite young, Mr. Zhongli. Yet you speak with such wisdom. Perhaps I have misjudged your age.
Your words are too kind. Truth be told, one of my old friends has several grown daughters. Rather than fretting about their future, however, she prefers to let them find their own way.
And she's more easygoing than I could ever be. I fear I lack such an open mind. Oh, I meant to say earlier, there is no need to be so polite. Feel free to call me by my name, Iptak.
Sure.
So, do you also think I fret too much, Mr. Zhongli?
That's not exactly what I was hoping to convey. Only a fool would ask a parent not to worry about their child. But think of it this way. Raising a child is not unlike flying a kite. Hold the string too tight, and it can no longer soar. As my friend once said, if your children are aiming for the stars, clipping their wings will only cause them to come crashing down. You need to let out the line for a kite to soar.
It seems I was too stuck in my ways.
You need not reproach your heart for caring. You simply need to loosen your hold a little. Indeed, with such a big heart, why not allocate the time you usually spend worrying about Gamin to the pursuit of other things? Like going for a stroll, drinking tea, or taking in the scenery. You never know what surprises could be in store. Things can change in the blink of an eye.
The blink of an eye, you say? Do things change so quickly?
Children grow up in quite the same way, do they not? Day after day, year after year, sometimes in the blink of an eye, but always when you least expect it. As a father, I'm sure you know that best.
Yes, you can say that again. 1 second, Gaming was a kid. The next thing I knew, he was ready to fly the nest.
Zhongli certainly has a way with words. Oh, Gamin is back! Hey, Gamin, we're over here!
Dad, Traveler, Paimon. Good, you're all here. Oh, and Mr. Zhongli from the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor? You're here too?
A fated meeting indeed. We were just enjoying some pleasant conversation.
Is everything resolved?
Well, you could say that.
What does that mean?
Traveler, Paimon, come with me. I need to talk to you.
Huh? Oh, okay.
I'll come right out and say it. Those two bandits, you sent them, didn't you?
So, that's how we're starting off?
Can't look me in the eye, huh? Guess I'm right then.
Okay, but how did you know?
At first, their mannerisms seemed a bit stilted. But once I got close, it was obvious that they possessed great skills. I was right on their tail, and it should have taken only a few steps to catch up to them, yet somehow, I was never able to close that distance. People with that level of skill would have gone about things differently from the start, like sneaking up on us while we were distracted. Unless, of course, their real motive was to lure me away from the group all along.
Wow, you're pretty quick on the uptake.
I just have a lot of experience. I've dealt with many a ruthless bandit in my time, but I've never seen ones like them. In the end, I told them they would make good guards if they ever wanted to get back on the straight and narrow, and that they could hang out with me in Liyue Harbor anytime.
You ever consider you might be a little too good at making friends?
I'm guessing you guys were trying to help resolve things between my dad and me? I appreciate it, I really do, but this conflict between us has been going on for a long time. Even if those two were real bandits, and I was able to subdue them and show them what I was capable of, it wouldn't change anything. You've seen the way he talks to me.
It's not like that at all! Your dad really cares about you. You should see the way he talks about you when you're not around. Zhongli was talking things through with him, and he nearly agreed to let it go. You don't believe us?
He won't let it go. He can say as much as he wants to other people, but he won't talk to me.
You told us because you wanted to prove yourself to your dad. Why don't you tell him about all the hard work you've done these past few years?
Will that even do anything? I'm not sure talking is enough.
You won't know unless you try. Just like how you won't know if something is delicious unless you taste it. Listen to us. It's time to put these people skills to good use. You can make friends with anyone, so why not your dad?
I'll do my best.
You are very knowledgeable, Mr. Zhongli. I'm impressed. Despite my being in the tea industry for several decades, it seems I still have much to learn about the art of tea tasting.
You flatter me. It was nothing but a few humble musings.
How much tea have you drank since we've been gone?
Ipdak and I have found many a common interest. Our friendship, much like a cup of tea, seems to grow stronger the longer it has to steep.
Well said, Mr. Zhongli. Gaming, Mr. Zhongli is very knowledgeable. You should take the opportunity to learn from people like him when you're in the city.
Huh? Oh, of course.
I have very much enjoyed our conversation, Ipdak, but I, unfortunately, have some unfinished funeral parlor business to attend to.
Oh, I hope I didn't keep you. My apologies for taking up so much of your time, Mr. Zhongli. No need to stay on my account. When you're less busy, let's find the time to meet. I'll treat you to dim sum.
It would be an honor.
We'll see you off, Zhongli. You two have a nice chat, alright?
Very nice conversations. Why interrupt?
Thanks for helping us talk things through with Uncle Ip. Good thing you were able to pick up on what we were putting down.
I have been around the both of you for some time now. You could say I have a certain level of expertise in that regard. As for my role in the conversation, think nothing of it. I hardly did anything noteworthy.
You never change, do you? Did you have us walk all this way? Paimon thought we just had to go far enough to be out of earshot.
A friend approaches.
Hello.
So, you're here too?
I've been here the whole time. A ghostly kite. Could that elusive Director Hu be coming to Wangshu Inn once again? What is she doing here? I suppose it matters not. Given her relationship with Rex, well, Zhongli, I might as well go pay my respects. It's you. I thought you were Director Hu.
Ah, your arrival is most fortuitous. Do you want to try out this new gadget? The addition of the power source makes the takeoff more stable. It's just that...
He seems quite immersed in the study of this device.
I fear it's almost too stable. It completely negates the pleasure of seeing one's kite sway with the wind. It's a bit of a shame. In truth, I'm here because Director Hu dispatched me to purchase some items in preparation for Lantern Rite.
I see. Much like she does every year. Much like she'll do next year, I would imagine. Am I wrong? Or has she once again sent you out to buy, what is it, sesame oil or something?
While we're on the subject, I do wonder why she is so obsessed with using sesame oil in the preparation of mixed vegetable dishes for Lantern Rite. A recommendation from Xiangling, perhaps. What do you think, Xiao?
I've only met Director Hu a few times. Hardly the best person to ask.
Ah, and is that not a sign that you should visit Wangsheng Funeral Parlor more often? It wouldn't hurt to grace the parlor with your presence now and again, when you are otherwise unoccupied. This one here is a traditional kite, one without any equipped mechanical device. Director Hu tasked me with studying the differences between the two to determine which one is of greater merit. Many hands make light work. Perhaps you could test out the other kite for me?
All right. I have made my...
And they've been kiting ever since.
If speed is what you're after, the mechanical kite is the better choice.
Wonderful. I shall pass that information along to Director Hu. I'll leave these 2 kites with you. Perhaps you can find a few friends with which to partake in the activity.
Oh, wait. Who enjoys kite flying?
Well, I would imagine someone of your talent and wisdom is more than capable of finding out.
So, you were testing out the kites for Hu Tao and even roped Xiao into doing it for you?
I would hardly say I roped Xiao into anything. I simply sought the help of a friend. Besides, we did the testing together.
Seems like our pool of competitors is growing. Do you like kite flying, Xiao?
I suppose I neither like nor dislike it. Although, watching a kite gradually ascend into the sky does bring me a certain peace of mind. Perhaps they're a bit like shell lanterns in that way.
Kite flying is also a pleasant form of relaxation.
Have you ever thought about making a kite, Xiao? Cloud Retainer taught us how. We can...
There's no need. Minogius was the only Yaksha among us who had an interest in matters of ornamentation and design. When Lantern Rite is over, come find me near Pervasi's temple if you have the time.
What if you hadn't done that quest?
It's getting late. I should go inform Director Hu of our findings.
How's she been, by the way? Be sure to say hi to her for us.
The last time I spoke to her, she mentioned that she would be visiting Chaoying Village in a few days. If you have the time, perhaps you could also make the trip. If you happen to run into her, you can pass along your regards in person.
We'll keep that in mind. Take care, Xiangli. See you later.
See you next time.
Dad. You can go first.
I don't have anything to say.
Then I'll go. I still don't want to leave Liyue Harbor.
Oh, I can't say I support that decision. Hey, let me finish before...
Sit, Shenhe, sit. You must be tired from your journey. Shall I pour you a cup of tea?
Or no need, I'm not tired. They're gone, Master.
Perfect. The time is nigh for us to make an appearance. Do you remember the plan one recounted to you?
Yes, Master. We
No,
aim to give
you
them a
didn't say
demonstration
it.
of familial love. So I'll have whatever you...
All right.
What are Auntie Xianyun and Shenhe doing here? Just how many people are involved in this scheme? I suppose all I can do is just take a seat and see what happens.
Perfect. I just so happen to have bought some Sunglow tea recently. It's quite the delectable variety. Or it would be if one has not been forced to drink it every day in the hopes of whittling down one's considerable stash. One has more than had one's fill already. Forget it. Such thoughts detract from the present need to keep up the conversation. Has work been busy during the holiday season? Do you need my help with anything?
Drunk guests can sometimes cause trouble. But I deal with them as you taught me, by pinning their heads against the table.
Are Auntie Xianyun and Shenhe serious?
Oh dear. While one was busy orchestrating this act, one seems to have forgotten. What I meant to ask was, have you made any new friends? We live so far from each other. It would be a great comfort to me to know you were surrounded by good companions.
You already know of my past circumstances. Recently, I've been conversing with Guoba in the kitchen at night. Guoba can't talk, but his companionship is a comfort.
The poor child. Her one friend can't even talk. I guess maybe Gaming is not doing so bad after all. Perhaps I've been too hard on him.
Let's move on, shall we? Do you have any plans for today, Shenhe? How about we do something fun?
That sounds about right. Take her to do something fun, and perhaps she'll loosen up a bit.
Like we used to do when we would carry stones up and down the mountain from picking herbs to eat for dinner along the way. If that is what you ask of me, then that is what I shall do.
Dad, here, have some tea. Or no, wait, let's not have any just yet.
Yeah. I simply can't listen to that any longer. Coming. I'd like to finish what I was trying to say before. I don't support your decision to stay in Liyue Harbor, because living there is too hard on you. If you come home, there will be people to help you. I'm not saying we have to live under the same roof. Our personalities are too similar to avoid butting heads. But you'll have your entire family around you. Your aunts, uncles, they'll all do whatever they can to help. You could get a less taxing job, and we could grab dim sum together from time to time.
Huh. I didn't know.
Shh. Just think about it. Okay? You don't have to decide now.
Dad really has changed a lot. He would never have said these things to me before. But I thank you, Dad.
It's been long enough, don't you think? Oh, Paimon sure hopes they've made up by now. Oh, they're drinking tea in silence. That's not a good sign. Did Xianyun's plan not work after all? Hey you two! Paimon's sorry we were gone for so long. We got to chatting with some friends and didn't realize how much time had passed.
Perfect timing, actually. We seem to be just about done here.
Yep, let's go. I'll get the backs.
Gaming has grown a lot taller, hasn't he?
You should have had a script.
Did I say something wrong earlier? I tried to go along with your questions, but when I saw how you and that man reacted, I started to wonder.
Not at all. Certain unforeseen variables may have presented themselves along the way, but the outcome proved favorable. The plan was a success.
Then I helped?
Naturally. Your purity of spirit is one of your great strengths, Shenhe. You need not change who you are.
Amazing. We shall not be walking the wrong way, but teleport to the right.
With the wind.
Nice statue or whatever it is. Although I feel like there could be more decorations. Hello, camera girl.
You must be Mr. Ip! Thank you for coming all this way. My name is Charlotte, and I'm a reporter from Fontaine. You can find me writing for the Steambird. I invited you here not just to purchase your fine tea, but also with the hope that you might be willing to sit down for a short interview. What do you say?
An interview? To advertise my teas?
I suppose you could think of it that way. We Fontainians are big tea drinkers too.
The Fontaine Market.
You live right next to Fontaine, have you not?
I'll need some time to adequately prepare. Perhaps we could sit down and discuss the questions you intend to ask in advance.
Of course, of course! Please follow me.
Is this person also involved in your plan? And here I thought I had lots of connections. I suppose I've been humbled. You sure know all kinds of cool and important people.
Over here! Yoo-hoo! Over here!
Huh? What? Auntie Shenyun?
She probably wants to talk about the next phase of the plan. Let's go while your dad is still distracted.
Bridge is so vertical.
I take it that all is going well?
Don't worry, Shenyun. Everything is going according to plan.
I knew that was all an act earlier. Auntie Shenyun is really something. She was so determined to help me. She didn't even care about making herself and Shenhe appear foolish in front of my family. She truly knows how to look out for others.
As for the next step...
Oh no!
What's wrong, Gamin?
Don't tell me you're the ones footing the bill for all that tea. I can't let you do that.
Fret not. Reimbursements will be made.
Exactly. Think of it more as an investment as we pulled together the Mora so that Charlotte could place the order. She's gonna bring it back to the Steambird as a gift, as well as a sample of the regional specialty. Fontanians will probably fall in love with your dad's tea as soon as they lay their eyes on Charlotte's article. And once all the money from the new orders begin to roll in, getting our Mora back will be a piece of cake.
Capitalism.
Okay. Business-related matters always seem to go over my head, but I refuse to let you all lose more on my behalf. I'll pay you back right now.
We can talk about such matters at a later date. There are more important matters for you to consider at the moment.
Yes. I've been thinking about it the whole way here. I have an idea, but I'd hate to cause even more trouble for all of you.
That is for us to decide.
Yeah, we're all friends here. Plus, we wouldn't be here if we didn't want to help, right? Just tell us about this idea of yours.
Okay. So, it's like this.
Got it. Just leave it to us. Let's split up and make it happen. We need to do those things we talked about, but we also still have the kite flying competition. Since Xiao already tested out those kites for us, why don't we also go buy one of those mechanical thingamabobs or whatever they're called?
We could. Very storily.
Hello again.
Welcome back. I see you returned from your trip. I really do have to thank you for all your help from before. Thanks to you, my daughter was able to build a kite with her grandmother that very same day. She even wrote a long letter telling me how much she loved it.
Oh, you should really be thanking Gaming, not us.
I'll be sure to. And are you here to buy a kite? Please, take your pick.
Oh, we already have a kite. We wanted to buy one of those, device thingies from Fontaine.
Ah, yes. Here you go. Please, take it, free of charge. The directions are in the box. It's not hard to install at all.
It doesn't feel right.
Well, nor would it feel right for me to take your Mora. Good luck in the kite flying competition. I'll be rooting for you.
All right then, thank you. Let's get down to business. Looks like we finished everything we needed to do. Let's find a good place and put this thing into the sky.
Mm-hmm. Cutscene, of course.
Chi-Chi, we're almost there. Okay.
Come here, allow me.
The lantern rite is as festive as ever.
Huh? What's going on?
Did something happen?
What should we do?
Oh, should we get the Millilith?
What's that?
taken that many pictures already? I need to load more film.
Wait, the wind.
Oh my gosh! Mommy, I want a big kite like that too! Do you see that kite way out in front? It's so beautiful!
Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite!
Gaming's performance was so cool, Paimon almost wanted to join in! You saw that, right, Traveler? Let's go find him! Oh! He's over there! Talking to his dad!
Yeah, that means don't go over there. The cutscenes are fine. They're very, very good. It's just too anime for me. That's all. I need to be able to see my microphone. Don't turn that off.
I think I'll head off now, if that's okay.
Thank you, little girl. Do you want us to walk you back?
No need, no need. Master is waiting for me right over there.
Son. I suppose I'll go first this time.
Okay.
Your performance. I've seen many wushou dances in my time, but I've got to admit, what you pulled off there was breathtaking.
Wow. I never thought I'd live to hear you say that.
You're serious about doing this professionally?
Absolutely. I know it'll be difficult, but...
Then it doesn't matter. What I mean to say is, of course it'll be difficult. But if that's your decision, if that's your dream, then it doesn't matter how difficult it is. As long as you put in the work, then any obstacle can be overcome in time. Really, when I was young, I also... Actually, how about we save that story of my past for another time? All I really want to say is, I've changed my mind. Much like this kite. You also deserve to soar to new heights.
Dad.
Son.
Son? Haven't heard that in a while.
I bet you're wondering what's gotten into me saying all this.
Well... a little bit, yeah.
Anyway, I know I've never found the chance to say this before, but... to me, Gaming, you've always been a great kid. Alright, that's everything I've got. Did you have something you wanted to say, or...
Seeing the two of them talk things through like this really gives Paimon a sense of accomplishment.
Now go. Over there. Your friends are still waiting for you.
Huh? But you came all this way.
I'll be staying in Liyue Harbor for a bit longer. When you have time, we can grab dim sum together. Your treat, right?
Dad, honestly.
Go.
Okay, then I'm off. See you soon. Really?
It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
I'd like to find and thank Auntie Xinyun, as well as everyone else who's helped me out. If everyone has time, maybe we could all get together and go fly a kite.
They always say we could, and then they never do.